Hello everyone, it's Bonnie Durkin and welcome to Tapping Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about what I think is a really effective technique that can help you to help deactivate your ants or your automatic negative thoughts. This technique is called TTT, Trauma Tapping Technique, and you can find out more about it from Peaceful Heart Organization. And so first, let's go ahead and talk about this week's process, the process of the week, which is the inactive box. Okay, so basically what this is if you want to participate, you're gonna make yourself a box, and I'm just using a tissue box. And I went ahead and I wrapped a piece of paper over it, cut a slot in the top, and I wrote deactivation. Whatever's in this box is deactivated and does not affect my vibration. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to make yourself a box. And then get yourself a little notepad or something. I've got this little pad here. And what you're going to do is, as you go about your day, you're going to try to tune in more to actually how you're feeling. And if you notice that you're not feeling so good, if you've got negative emotion going on, go ahead and ask yourself, what was it I was just thinking? And then make a note of it. Now, if you're at home or if you're close to your notebook and your deactivation box, you can just go ahead and write it on a little piece of paper. If you're out and about and you can't write it down, what I've been doing and I found really effective is with my smartphone, I have just been using talk to text. So I send myself a text and I just use the talk to text feature, and I just say into my phone what it is that I've been thinking about that doesn't feel good. And you can also use your notes in your phone. And then when I get back home, I actually go ahead and I write it on this sheet, and then you can either just fold it and put it in your box and set the intention to render this thought and the feelings attached to it inactive. Or if you have time, you can do some TTT tapping with it. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and tune into a repetitive negative thought that's been bothering you. And I'm just going to give you an example because this has been something that been coming up a lot for me lately, is the rising cost of food. And it especially happens whenever I go grocery shopping. So what I wrote down here is I am rendering inactive my thoughts about the rising food prices. And then I asked myself, okay, so what emotions are attached to that? And in my case, it's anger, resentment, and worry. And so once you have those emotions activated, then you can go ahead and do the TTT tapping. And so let's go ahead and do that right now. So take a moment to focus on something that's been bothering you, that's been coming up often. Go ahead and write it down. Activate those emotions that are attached to it. And we're just going to start with TTT. So it starts with 3 deep breaths in through the nose, and you kind of hold a little at the top, and then a long breath out through the mouth. So we're going to start with those breaths. Breathing in. And now starting on the karate chop, there's no words with this. Just focus in on the feelings attached to the thoughts. Moving to the eyebrow. the eye, under the eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, under the arm, and now we're going to do the finger points, pinky, ring finger, middle finger, index finger, thumb, back to the collarbone. Now let your arms drop, and we're going to do the 3 breaths again. Back to the hand, tuning back into the emotions. Eyebrow, side of the eye, under the eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, under the arm, pinky, ring finger, middle finger, index finger, thumb, and back to the collarbone. Let the arms drop again, and for one more time, you're going to breathe in. And now just tuning back in to the thought that was bothering you and the emotion attached to it. Just notice what you notice. Has anything shifted, changed? Does it feel less active? Whatever you're feeling is just fine. And what you're going to do now is you're going to take the sheet that you wrote that on, and you're going to fold it, and you're just going to put it in your box, and you're going to say, I'm done with this. I'm going to render this inactive. It no longer is in my consciousness. Now, I just want you to know that very, very often, the same patterns will come up over and over again, many times. So this is not a one-shot deal, but it's a really fun and interesting thing that happens after you've written it down and deactivated it a number of times. Usually for something that you think about a lot, it could take quite a few days, but then all of a sudden you'll just realize, wow, I'm not thinking about that thing anymore. So that whole thing takes about 5 minutes, so it's really worth your time. It's a great tool to add to your toolbox of good emotional hygiene. And so I hope you found this valuable, and I'll see you next week for Tapping Tuesday.